Tenebrous Tingles.
Hello, and welcome to Tenebrous Tingles. I'm Zandi,
And I'm Eve.
and we are going to be bringing you folklore and fright. And today we are starting with the state of Alabama. I'm going to be doing the haunting of Skeeto's Hole in Newton, Alabama.
And I've got Huggin Molly in Abbeville, Alabama.
Awesome. So, Eve, why don't you tell me a little bit about what got you into the whole fright and folklore thing?
So I just really enjoy the thought of stories being passed down generation to generation to explain things that, are not always completely understandable. And I mean, they did come from somewhere. I'm not overly superstitious. I don't believe every single thing, but I also don't wander around at night whistling, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea
So,
what you mean, and you didn't say that out loud.
exactly. If you hear that, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
And what about you?
I grew up with a great grandmother who had a ghost that lived upstairs, and she kept a Bible on her staircase to keep it from coming downstairs. And then when I was in elementary school, my elementary school library had a bunch of books by Catherine Tucker Wyndham, who was an author that wrote about ghosts in the Southeast. And I was a little obsessed.
I liked fairy tales, but like the really, really dark fairy tales.
I mean,
And then,
too.
yeah. So then you end up finding out that there's actual stories like that. So
There are. I mean, they
that's fun to
came from
explore.
somewhere too. So, Eve, why don't you start with the Abbeville, Alabama tale of Hugging Molly?
Okay. So Huggin Molly today is more like a town mascot. She's on the sign and she's got her own Pokemon card, and um she's a story that people tell their kids to get them to go inside at night because she allegedly will find people on the street. They're out later than they should be, mostly kids, and she'll hug them really tightly and really coldly and screech in their ear.
You had me right up until the screeching part.
Right? She's concerned with their safety, and it's a little bit of trauma, but it's also kind of heartwarming. She's like, go home. There are a lot of ideas about where she's come from. There are actual sightings as late as 2010 was the last sighting. It was during a festival. They have a yearly festival in early May to celebrate, the town's heritage. So of course she's in it. She's on the town sign.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's on the welcome to town sign. There's a child being chased by this dark figure, and she's always seen as the 7 foot tall or 6'10", depending who's telling the story.
Whatever her
Figure.
file says, yeah.
Exactly. You always got to account for a little bit of mismeasurement there.
Yeah.
And sometimes in this wide-brimmed black hat, and just kind of appearing out of shadows if you happen to be on the streets when you shouldn't be. In 2010, at the last official sighting, a teacher leading a cemetery tour during the festival saw a figure vanish among the headstones. And so several of the participants saw and were really shaken up. That's the last confirmed sighting. There's been others that are, less solid, I guess. And it's not just children. There was one sighting that was a young woman walking home from work. So she does not discriminate. She just really wants everybody to be safe. And she started appearing back in like the very early 1900s.
Hmm.
There are a lot of ideas about where she came from. Some of them say that she was a real person who was a grieving mother. She lost her child, and now she wanders the streets in the afterlife, hugging children out of sorrow.
Why the screaming then? If she's
Because she's sad,
oh,
Zandi.
of course.
Do you not scream at people when you're sad? Just walk up to random strangers and scream in their face? Is that not normal behavior?
I don't have feelings, so I don't really do the sad thing. I'm not
Okay.
there have been other
Everybody
reasons why I've wanted
processes
to walk up and
grief.
scream at strangers, but usually it's not because I'm sad. Generally, it's because of their driving or because they're in the way.
Well, maybe she's not sad. Like you said, there's lots of reasons to just wander up and screech at people. There's a theory that she was also a school teacher when she was alive. I'm going to touch back on that one because there's a really good story about it.
Okay.
There's some that claim that she is just a regular ghost, just who has chosen that town, and that's how she's chosen to do it. Just a supernatural entity. There is, I think, one of my favorite theories is that it's an adult that has disguised themselves as this just to mess with people, but it's just been carried on because obviously it's been a long time. It's not the same adult, but I mean, if you don't have anything else to do, maybe just put on your Huggin Molly costume and start wandering the streets and traumatizing children.
I mean, sounds
Don't
like a
do
good
that.
time to me.
Don't do that. That was a terrible, terrible idea. But it's one theory about where she has come from.
You
There
said,
is.
sorry, you said that she could be just a random ghost that chose this town, and I kind of love the idea that when you're in the afterlife, you can just decide, like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna pick this random small town in this random state, and I'm gonna do this. How does that sound? Is that cool?
And even if it's not, I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Right. Like,
And then there's people that'll come out and talk about her like as recently as 2 weeks ago, but it's really not anything solid. It's more just
just a guy who was
just
a little
her
bit drunk
existence.
going home.
Yeah. There's she's so they even made a movie about her. I don't know how accurate it really is, but it's interesting. Like she's really made her way into the town's history. The newspaper has shared several stories, and I think the first one, it was related by Elbert Tiller, and it was back in 1922, and it talked about how her first appearance, it was on the road from Haleburg to Abbeville. And then she just started appearing in town. So it kind of goes back to the theory that there's a ghost and she just decided she liked it. Like she was just wandering and happened to end up there. And, she only was seen at night. She was caught several times and always managed to escape because, ghost. One of those times was an old grammar school near a graveyard. There's always like a cemetery nearby. And police and men with guns and lanterns surrounded the building and had her surrounded. And then she just disappeared.
What charges were they going to arrest her on? I'm curious.
Wandering around at night, I guess. I'm not sure what she did.
Hugging random strangers.
It was the early 1900s, so I think just being female and existing might have been enough.
It's possible.
I think my favorite one, and it's pretty sad, but it was also in the newspaper. about how, and it was also Tiller that shared it. There was a kindergarten schoolhouse that was a little bit outside of town, and the students would stay in the late afternoon. But the guys starts to get dark as the seasons change a little bit earlier every day.
Right now it is dark at like 9 p.m. and that's really. I feel like by then it's like no it's time to be dark already.
I like the extra daylight.
Yeah,
And it's gonna
you
be
would.
gone really soon. And that's less time for Huggin Molly to catch you if you don't want to be screeched at.
I guess. I guess. I mean, if you, it's like the middle of winter and 5 p.m. when it's getting dark, and you're like, man, I just got off work.
I don't know if she takes excuses, but in this origin story, it was a little girl named Molly who was going to head home, and it was starting to get dark. And the teacher was going to accompany her, but she was a brave little girl. Now, let me just say again, this is kindergarten, and she's walking home alone through the woods.
You didn't?
I mean, yes, but I couldn't imagine sending my child on a walk through the woods alone right now. That's so she starts to go home, and a bear attacks her and drags her down the road. And there were men nearby who were doing, stuff, cutting firewood, doing woodsy man stuff. And they heard her screams and they tried to help her. They did scare off the bear, but not before one of her arms had been damaged badly enough to be taken. She did live, but ended up with a prosthetic arm. And she would always hug it really close to her. And so Hugging Molly was a name that she was given. Now, she lived to be in her mid-80s, and she's actually buried behind Abbeville's First Baptist Church. And so there's the idea that she came back to hug people into going home and not being out where it's not safe.
Wait. If she when did this happen? Because if she lived into her 80s, and I mean, when was the town settled? Because I'm wondering if Hugging Molly was around hugging people before she died.
Well, this was like 1800s.
Yeah, but that's still only 100 years for the entirety of the 1800s, and if she lived to be in her 80s,
You try to make it very logical.
I'm sorry.
Appreciate the magic.
I'm sorry. I am trying to appreciate the magic and not over here Googling when the city of Abbeville was founded.
Do it.
I am doing it. Oh, cool. It was, Abbeville comes from its name from the Creek Indian expression yada ada, which means reflection of dogwood trees on the creek.
That's also the name of the festival, Yada Abba. That's really pretty.
Yeah, it is. It does not say when the city of Abbeville was founded, and I am displeased with this level of information.
So it's still really prevalent
1853.
in conversation now. Okay.
It was founded by, it was incorporated in 1853, so that's when it became Abbeville. Before that,
But there were still people there settled before then, I'm sure.
well, it was a part of the Creek Nation, so
This could check out timeline wise, or it could just be a random ghost, or it could be a figment of everyone's collective imagination.
but by everyone, I mean the population is like 4,000. So
Okay, well, that's still a big collection.
fair.
I was speaking with a teacher who works locally there. She's not in Abbeville, but she's like one town over. And I asked her about it because I wanted, some perspective on somebody local. I'm like, have you heard of this? She's like, oh, yeah. I was teaching a class and she came up and the class became all about her. I was like, that's so cool. What was it? Was it social studies? Was it like a culture class? She's like, no, I was teaching math. So, and the kids started relating stories, like stories that they personally had. And their parents would tell them, you have to be inside or Huggin Molly will get you.
I can't do
Which,
my math homework or Huggin Molly will get me. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if it works like that, but I suppose it's worth a shot.
Speaking of math, I apparently guessed wrong because the population of Abbeville is 2,300.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I just doubled it. It's fine. It's fine.
That's still a lot of people to hug.
That is a lot of people to hug, and I'm sure people pass through.
And I mean, even if she's just a symbolic figure used to enforce good behavior in kids, I mean, that's kind of cute. She's just like more of a really fearsome guardian than malevolent. She's never hurt anyone that she's come across. She's only, scared people a little bit.
Just
a lot. I mean, a lot. I would be scared. I would be very scared if someone randomly hugged me and screamed at me and then just disappeared.
Okay, so you're telling me that if a 7-foot tall, dark figure came up out of the shadows and hugged you, would it be okay if they were wearing a mask and had tattoos? I'm not.
Okay. Stop. I'm wired a little bit wrong, and I would have questions.
Oh, this is
I would
fine.
be like, so how you doing?
How you doing? Yep. This is fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
I'll just tell my group, you guys go on ahead. Me and this figure have some things to discuss. I mean, the screaming is where I would draw the line. Don't screech at me.
Yeah, I'm not big on loud noises either. So
yeah,
that would be
boundaries are important.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not a screechy kind of. Not my thing.
So let's hear about yours.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if it's my turn, I guess. Yours sounds like a lot nicer. But I think that's typical for us.
Yeah. Are you gonna traumatize us badly?
No, I was planning on traumatizing us badly, but initially I was going to be doing the Sloss Furnaces because at one point they were voted the most haunted place in Alabama. But here's the problem with the Sloss Furnaces. There's been a lot of erasure going on with the Sloss Furnaces. If you go and try to research what was actually going on there, you can find little bits and glimpses of information, such that of the 1,000 convicts they had working in the coal mines, almost 100 of them died. And I'm pretty sure that doesn't count the ones that died of black lung. You also,
Oh yeah.
It was a pre-OSHA blast furnace too, so there were probably a lot of deaths and other nasty incidents that happened to people, but that information is now missing as well. And all you can find is basically these few stories about this guy that was pushed or fell into one of the furnaces and how he had traumatized and hurt and injured a whole bunch of workers. But he was made up by the company that used to run a haunted house through there. So getting legitimate information on the hauntings that actually exist there, which I'm sure it probably is haunted, because people do say that they see people in coveralls and they say that they have been pushed or they have felt intense waves of heat when nothing else is going around. I mean, it is Alabama, so but like maybe
That's
not.
just Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just Alabama. But intense waves of heat when the surrounding temperature was not normally hot. And so it's really hard to pull actual legitimate information from that. And I feel like to do otherwise would be really disrespectful to the people who were injured or killed working at this foundry. And I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone. So I am not going to be doing the Sloss furnaces. And if others find this legitimate information, cool, great. I would love to hear it. Hey, if others have been to Sloss and have had personal experiences with ghosts there, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear everybody's experiences that they have had anywhere in the state of Alabama. So hit us up.
Actually, I think we are going to set up an email for people to reach out to us to share their stories. And, you know, if you want them to be really dark, definitely address those to Zandi. If they're kind of fluffy and make you, you know, feel warm and gushy, that's probably more my speed.
No, it's fine.
We'll do them both.
Future Us is going to insert the name of the email address here. And
Could we just link it?
yeah, we'll link it also in the show notes so you guys can have it there. But Future Us will also tell you what it's going to be because I haven't set it up yet. And if you want to direct it to one of us specifically because you don't want to traumatize Eve or because you think you can traumatize me, you know, I'm here for it. You can put Eve or Zandi in the subject. That's fine. Or you can just, you know, however you want to do it.
Talk to both of us.
We're both nice. We're going to be doing all 50 states. And eventually we're going to expand out to further places as well. So you can tell us where this happened to you, and we would love to hear it. Our email address is tenebrous.tingles@gmail.com. Since I am not going to be doing Sloss, I am going to be doing the story of Bill Skeeto. And I picked this one because before I moved, I lived about 1.5 miles from where this took place, and I do have pictures of the monument and such that I will also be putting somewhere for people to see.
Did I talk about why I chose mine?
You did
Was I
not.
supposed to?
But okay. Go ahead, do it before I get started.
I chose that one because it's adorable. It's just a randomly hugging person that just a really aggressive guardian angel, and she's not hurt anybody. That's why I chose that one.
Aggressive guardian angel. I love that. I really do. My guardian angel is very tired.
Yeah.
Your guardian angel is probably even more we talked about your guardian angel having ripped out all of their feathers.
Yeah, probably need some therapy. Like, why would you do your life like this?
Yeah. So, that's great. I love that. I did not pick one because it was cute. I picked one because of propinquity. So we are going to press pause on this for now and see you next week for our very exciting and probably traumatizing second half with Zandi. And if you like the darker stuff, then she's definitely got that for you. Yeah, I know we did kind of promise that I would be starting my portion now, but honestly, this podcast has gone on long enough, and we would prefer to leave you wanting rather than really tired of us. So,
yes, want us.
Yes, definitely. Crave more. Subscribe. You know, those things. We're doing it via...
We have a subscription?
We will, yeah.
That's fun.
Well, yeah, you'll be able to subscribe so you don't miss anything. I mean, we've definitely got
I
issues,
can
but this is the first time
subscribe.
we've had a subscription. So thank you for joining us here at Tenebrous Tingles. I'm Zandi,
And I'm Eve.
and we will see you next time.
Thanks for listening.